So are you trying to save money on your grocery bill like I am? What about this? How about check out this food that I got? Just check this out. Here we go. Here we go. A little bit in this box here. Well, maybe a lot of it in there. Got food down here. Cheese, potatoes, ramen, a whole bag of food there. We got all this here. Got fish. Got carrots, cucumbers. Check that out. Free food. That will definitely help the budget. Let's chat. How in the world and what am I doing? So I just wanted to point out some of the things. I've got carrots and apples and an English cucumber. We've got a dozen eggs. We've got cans of vegetables. We've got hash browns, spaghetti sauce, crackers, oatmeal, cold cereal, pancake mix, fish, ramen, cornbread, hot chocolate, instant potatoes, some kinds of cheeses, a big, huge bag of cheese, rice, peanut butter and jelly, SpaghettiOs. What do we got here? Elbow macaroni. We've got cake mix. We've got brownies. Look at the size of that tomato sauce. More veggies, more fruit and tomato sauce and beets and grapes jelly. And then we come over here and open this up real quick. What is in here? Ketchup and more brownies, it looks like, possibly. And I don't even know. There's pancake syrup, there's rice, there's more veggies and cans, and there's stuff, people, there's stuff. What in the world have I created? Have I created a monster with all this free food? This will help the budget. Well, hello, hello, hello. What did you think of all that food? Look at the size of this bag of whitefish fillets. Dinner tomorrow night for my men. They love fish, so that'll be plenty. I'll make fish. They'll have it. We'll have sandwiches the next day. Look at the size of this cheese. Okay, here's my hand. Look at the size of that. Huge bag of cheese. You know, I push the elbow macaroni. You get definitely a whole lot more bang for your buck. Anybody want some dessert? How about a little hot chocolate in the morning? How about some nice raisin, date, and walnut? I've never seen that combination. Instant oatmeal. Want a little pancakes and waffle action going on here. Look at all this stuff. Peanut butter, jelly, SpaghettiOs. I love SpaghettiOs. You guys like SpaghettiOs? Vegetables, ramen. Eggs, apples, fresh produce, cucumber, you know, bag of carrots. What in the world is going on? I've created a monster. Well, not really. A good monster. And I want to encourage you to do the same thing. Many people are hurting right now. Many people are hurting, not so much that they don't have food. Some are. So hear me out here. I don't want negative comments coming back and saying, if you have an opinion about this, I don't want to hear it. I'm going to be blunt. There are people that are starving. There are people that are hungry. There are people that don't have enough money. I personally know somebody in my circle who is getting some of this food, who when I said to her I was picking up some free food, she says, oh no, I'm good. I know she's not good. So she doesn't have to tell me she's good. I'm just going to be a good neighbor and put together a bag of food for her and give it to her. So what we had about 2 years ago was this thing, you know, none of us want to talk about anymore. We're like up to here with it. So we'll leave it there. But all of a sudden the food lines were long at the store. Things were running out. We were all panicking. We were all panic buying. What do we do? What do we do? In that 2 years, in the beginning of it, I would go to the store, let's say for spaghetti sauce, and I couldn't find it. So my girlfriend would go and she'd say, I'm going to the store. What can I get for you? I can't find spaghetti sauce. She found it. Next time I'd go to the store, I'm going, what do you need? Oh, I can't find. And we were starting to help each other by shopping. And it kind of grew that, hey, well, while I know I went shopping and I got you spaghetti sauce, but I have 3 cans of green beans that I'm never going to use, and could you use them? Oh, well, yeah, I have 2 cans of peas. Can you use it? And we kind of, it mushroomed. All of a sudden, I had another friend who was getting food from 2 sets of sisters, but they were getting food from someone else, and what they didn't want, they gave to the sisters, and then they kind of picked through it, and then they gave it to my girlfriend, and she'd pick through it, and she'd give it to me, and I'd pick through it. Believe it or not, there was this much going on. And I would share some with some coworkers, and then I'd give some to my mom, and I don't know, we just shared. We shared. There were times I would have like 7 bags of food that I literally could not fit in my stockpile. And I know people are going to say, well, you should keep it. You should keep it. There's going to be shortages. I totally agree with you. I should keep some of it. Yes, I should keep some of it, but not all of it. I just truly believe that it is not meant for me to hoard and to hang on to all of this food. I will keep some of it. My son will eat the ramen. My son will eat the peanut butter. I will use the elbow macaroni. We'll use some of it. I will not use all of it. And I just know that for me, I would feel I just can't do that. So we've created our own food network. My mom has someone, sometimes one, but definitely one person, sometimes 2 people that give her food of overages that they have, or things they're not going to use anymore, or they don't like anymore. What do you do when you buy something and you open this up and you try a package and I don't like it? Well, you can't sell it, or you can't bring it back. But I could give it to my mom and she can try it. She knows that the person that opened it was me, so it's safe. So that is a great way to just, you don't like something, pass it along. So we've created this food network. I don't know how else to describe it. And when we have an overage or we have things we don't like, we share it. My mom called me up and said, I have a lot of food. You saw what's on the table. I got a box of it. I got a bag of it. She said, come and get the food. I've already picked out what I want. She's also shared some of this with somebody else, so somebody else has benefited from it. The original person has already benefited because they kept what they wanted. Now I'm getting it and I'm sharing it with other people, and I'm keeping some for myself. Obviously, absolutely, I'm keeping some of it. So what am I saying? We're all on a budget. We're all trying to save money. Food prices have gone up. We have people that are hungry, that can't afford to feed themselves. And you could be a good neighbor by supplying some food for your neighbor. You could be a good neighbor by saying, hey, I've got some green beans and I don't really like green beans. I'm just picking on green beans. Green beans, nothing wrong with them. Or I've got some SpaghettiOs and I don't eat them. Can you use them? And whether or not they give you something back at that moment, don't worry about it. But you start this ball rolling, and you can get together with a group of friends and do a food swap night and say, listen, whatever groceries you have that you don't feel you're going to use, maybe they bought a bunch of cake mix and they're now on a diet and they don't want to use the cake mix, but you've got kids at home, so you want to be able to have cake mix or whatever the case might be. Or they bought elbow macaroni and they don't like elbow macaroni, they like bow tie macaroni. Well, maybe, hey, I'll bring my bow tie, you bring your elbow, and we can swap. Maybe have a food swap party. I like to call it a food network, and we're networking with my friends and my family. At this point, there's about a dozen of us. Some of us don't know each other. We each have our own little circle of people that have been formed in this food network. We swap food, we exchange food, we share food. And if you know someone that is hungry, please don't let it go. Put together a bag of food, and not stuff that you would go like, things you would never eat yourself. Put together maybe some instant potatoes and a can of green beans and maybe a can of meat or some tuna and, maybe a box of brownies, and make them feel special that somebody thought of them and provided them with a meal that they could put together for themselves and or their family. So, you know what? Free food. Swap with each other. Share things you're no longer going to use. You have an overage on. Reach out to some friends and say, hey, do you guys want to do like a food swap? Bring what you can't use, you have an overage of, you don't like anymore. You bought something and you bought 3 of them, they were on sale, and nobody in the house likes them. bring that over to my house. I'm going to have the coffee pot on. I'm going to bake some cookies. Bring your food over. We're going to have a night of a food swap. What a great way to share what you have and then replenish your own stockpile and your own pantry, because you gave away that food, but now you've gained some new food that you can put in your pantry and your stockpile. Didn't cost you anything but a pot of coffee. You probably made better friends with those people, and then maybe you can form your own network like I did. After 2 years, we have about a dozen people in our network sharing food, and it doesn't cost me a dime. Hope that's very helpful to you. Hope you can start one in your own area. I would love for you to let me know if you have decided to start your own food network, your own food sharing program with your friends and family. Leave a note below. I would love to hear some feedback about it. Thanks so much. And remember, there are people out there who can't afford it and are really hungry. So look out for your neighbor and do the right thing. Thanks so much for coming over. We'll catch you all on the next video.